반갑습니다. In Korea, when you're speaking English to Koreans, you're gonna have to slow it down. And in the classroom, this is very true. With the exception of a small number of strong English students or teachers, most have limited to no speaking skills. So you may think that you're speaking slowly, but most likely you're not. In my case, I used to work in the IT industry where the communication of information at a rapid pace was critical. So I tend to speak too quickly as it is. And it's still difficult for me to slow it down when I'm speaking to my students and my teachers. Take this sentence for example. Good morning. How are you today? Today, we will study Chapter 8 and learn, what are you doing? Who knows what this means? What do you think? It's probably going to be too fast for a couple reasons. First, simply the rate is too quick. I was just speaking too quickly. The students were probably still trying to figure out the first 3 to 5 words and I'm already 10 or 12 down the line and they're going to be lost and they're going to give up on trying to comprehend what you're saying. The other thing is, I was speaking as if I was speaking to you, a native speaker, if you're a native speaker watching this. So I was kind of blurring the words together a little bit. So let's try it this way. Good morning. How are you today? Today, we will study Chapter 8 and learn, what are you doing? Who knows what this means? What do you think? It's probably going to be okay for most of the students. I think it was slow enough and clear enough with my pronunciation where at the end of it, most students are going to be able to put it all together in their mind and have a pretty good understanding of what I'm saying. But I would recommend something more like this. Good morning. How are you doing today? Today, we will study Chapter 8 and learn, what are you doing? Raise your hand. Who knows what this means? A good rule of thumb is if you feel like you're speaking uncomfortably slowly, you can probably slow it down even more. And remember, gestures, your facial expressions, your pitch, your tone, these are all very important when you're speaking to your students during class. The more expressive and animated that you can be, the more that your students are going to enjoy listening to you, and therefore they're going to be more engaged in your class. They're going to feel like they've accomplished something right off the bat if they can simply understand what you're saying. And don't forget, emphasize your consonants. For example, B's and P's are very difficult for the average Korean's ear to decipher. One of the main reasons for your presence in the ESL classroom is to model authentic speech. Some researchers believe that the ESL student benefits more from what they hear a native speaker say than actually studying and speaking themselves. So, keep these things in mind when you're speaking to your students and teachers, and I think that you'll find that you'll get a lot more out of your classes and your relationships. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. And something caught the attention, somehow I caught the attention of my instructor, my Kwanjangnim. Actually, it was a little more dramatic than that. It was more like, hey! And he came rushing over and he starts tugging on my waistband as I'm doing my lat pull downs. And he's like, no panties!